You go to bed at 10, you wake up at 6. 8 full hours. But when your alarm goes off, you feel like you barely slept at all. Your body aches, your head feels foggy. You drag yourself through the morning wondering why sleep isn't working anymore. If that sounds familiar, you're not imagining it. And the answer isn't just sleeping more. What I see when I review sleep research for people over 55 is this. The problem usually isn't the amount of sleep you're getting, it's the quality. Your body may be lying in bed for 8 hours, but it's not getting the deep, restorative sleep it needs to actually recover. And here's the part that frustrates a lot of people. This can happen even when you think you're doing everything right. You're going to bed on time. You're not scrolling your phone. You're trying. But something beneath the surface is interrupting the kind of sleep that actually makes you feel rested. I spend a lot of time looking at sleep studies and patterns in older adults. And what the research consistently shows is that after 55, sleep changes in ways most people don't expect. The good news? Once you understand what's happening, there are often practical things you can adjust. Here's what we're going to walk through. First, why sleep quality naturally changes after 55. What's happening in your body that makes sleep feel lighter and less restorative. Then, some common hidden disruptors that many people don't realize are affecting their rest. After that, we'll talk about deep sleep and why it matters so much. Then, medical conditions that can quietly interfere with sleep quality. And finally, some realistic adjustments that may help you feel more rested without just adding more hours in bed. Nothing complicated, just clear information that might help explain what's been going on. Why sleep quality changes. After 55. Let's start with what's happening naturally as you age, because this affects almost everyone. Research shows that after 55, the structure of your sleep starts to shift. You spend less time in the deeper stages of sleep and more time in lighter stages. That means you're more likely to wake up during the night, sometimes without even realizing it. Your brain might register dozens of these brief awakenings, and even though you don't remember them, they disrupt the continuity of your rest. Think of sleep like going down a staircase. When you first fall asleep, you're on the top step, light sleep. As the night goes on, you're supposed to move down into deeper stages where your body does most of its repair work. Then you cycle back up into REM sleep, where dreaming happens and your brain processes emotions and memories. After 55, many people don't go as deep down that staircase anymore. They hover in the lighter stages, and lighter sleep is easier to interrupt. A noise, a shift in temperature, your bladder, a thought. Things that wouldn't have woken you up at 35 can pull you out of sleep now. This isn't a disease. It's a pattern that researchers observe as part of normal aging. But it does mean that even if you're in bed for 8 hours, you may only be getting 5 or 6 hours of actual restorative rest. There's also something called sleep efficiency, which is the percentage of time in bed that you're actually asleep. Younger adults often have sleep efficiency around 90% or higher. After 55, it's common for that to drop to 75% or 80%. You're lying there awake more than you realize. What this means practically is that the number on the clock, 8 hours, may not tell the whole story. What matters more is how much of that time your body is actually in deep, uninterrupted sleep. And here's where it all connects. If you're waking up exhausted, your body may be telling you it's not getting the quality of sleep it needs, even if the quantity looks fine. After 55, sleep naturally becomes lighter and more fragmented. The issue is often quality, not just quantity. Now, this is the part most people don't realize. Hidden sleep disruptors. You might not notice. Let's talk about some common things that can quietly sabotage your sleep quality, things that many people don't connect to how tired they feel in the morning. First, sleep apnea. This is one of the most underdiagnosed sleep issues in older adults. Sleep apnea happens when your airway briefly collapses during sleep, cutting off your breathing for a few seconds. Your brain notices, pulls you partially awake to restart your breathing, and then you fall back asleep, usually without remembering any of it. But this can happen dozens or even hundreds of times a night. Many people with sleep apnea snore loudly, gasp for air, or wake up with a dry mouth or headache. But not everyone has obvious symptoms. Some people just feel exhausted all day and have no idea why. If your partner says you snore heavily or stop breathing during sleep, that's worth mentioning to your doctor. Second, restless leg syndrome. This is an uncomfortable urge to move your legs, especially at night. It can feel like tingling, crawling, or aching sensations that only get better when you move. Some people don't even realize they're moving their legs repeatedly during sleep, but it disrupts their rest significantly. Third, medications. A lot of common medications can interfere with sleep quality. Some blood pressure medications, antidepressants, steroids, and even over-the-counter antihistamines can affect sleep architecture, how your brain cycles through sleep stages. You might fall asleep fine, but the medication may be preventing you from reaching deeper sleep. If you started a new medication around the same time your sleep quality dropped, that's worth discussing with your doctor. Fourth, frequent urination. Waking up multiple times a night to use the bathroom, something called nocturia, is very common after 55. It can be related to fluid intake, medications, prostate issues in men, or bladder changes in women. Each time you wake up to go, it interrupts your sleep cycle, and for some people, falling back into deep sleep after getting up becomes harder. Fifth, anxiety or racing thoughts. Even if you're not consciously stressed, your mind might be more active at night than you realize. Worrying about family, health, finances, or even just replaying the day can keep your brain in a lighter, more alert state of sleep. These aren't always obvious. You might not even realize they're happening, but they can quietly chip away at your sleep quality night after night. Pay close attention to this one. Small disruptions you don't notice during the night can add up to major exhaustion during the day. Hidden issues like sleep apnea, medications, or frequent waking can quietly destroy sleep quality even when you're in bed long enough. But this is the part most people miss entirely. If any of this is starting to make sense, you might want to save this one. Sleep issues can be confusing, and having this information handy later might be helpful. Why deep sleep and REM sleep matter so much. Now let's talk about why the type of sleep you're getting matters just as much as how long you sleep. Sleep isn't one flat experience. It's made up of different stages, and each stage does something important for your body and brain. Light sleep is where you spend a lot of your night, especially after 55. It's restorative to some degree, but it's also easy to wake from. This is the stage where you're aware of your surroundings and can be pulled out of sleep by small disturbances. Deep sleep, also called slow-wave sleep, is where the real physical recovery happens. This is when your body repairs tissues, builds muscle, strengthens your immune system, and clears out waste from your brain. Research suggests that deep sleep is crucial for feeling physically restored. But after 55, most people spend significantly less time in deep sleep than they did when they were younger. REM sleep is where dreaming happens. It's also when your brain processes emotions, consolidates memories, and does a kind of mental housekeeping. REM sleep tends to happen more in the second half of the night, which is why waking up too early or having fragmented sleep can cut into this important stage. Studies suggest that people who don't get enough deep sleep or REM sleep often feel mentally foggy, physically unrested, and emotionally flat, even if they technically slept enough hours. So if you're sleeping 8 hours but still waking up exhausted, your body may not be spending enough time in these deeper, more restorative stages. And here's what makes it tricky. You can't always control this just by going to bed earlier. The quality of your sleep depends on factors like your sleep environment, your health conditions, your stress levels, and even what you ate or drank before bed. What this means practically is that focusing only on total sleep time misses the bigger picture. You need to think about what's happening during those hours, and this is where it all connects. Improving sleep quality often means addressing the things that are keeping you in lighter stages and preventing your body from dropping into the deep, restorative sleep it needs. Deep sleep and REM sleep are where real recovery happens. Without enough of these stages, you'll feel exhausted no matter how long you're in bed. And nobody talks about this part. Medical conditions that can quietly affect sleep. Sometimes poor sleep quality isn't just about sleep itself. It's a symptom of something else going on in your body. Let me walk you through a few medical conditions that researchers have observed are often linked to poor sleep quality in people over 55. Thyroid issues. Both an underactive thyroid, hypothyroidism, and an overactive thyroid, hyperthyroidism, can disrupt sleep. An underactive thyroid can make you feel exhausted all the time, even with sleep. An overactive thyroid can make it hard to fall asleep or stay asleep because your metabolism is revved up. Chronic pain conditions. Arthritis, back pain, nerve pain, any kind of ongoing discomfort can make it hard to get comfortable enough to reach deep sleep. You might fall asleep, but pain can pull you back into lighter stages repeatedly throughout the night. Acid reflux, or GERD. Lying flat can make stomach acid flow back into your esophagus, causing discomfort that disrupts sleep. Many people don't realize this is happening because they don't feel the classic heartburn symptoms. They just wake up feeling unrested or with a sore throat. Depression and anxiety. Both of these can significantly alter sleep architecture. Depression often causes early morning waking or unrefreshing sleep. Anxiety can make it hard to fall asleep or keep you in lighter stages of sleep where your mind stays partially alert. Heart conditions. Some heart-related issues can cause disrupted sleep, difficulty breathing while lying down, or waking up frequently. If you're waking up short of breath or with chest discomfort, that's something to bring up with your doctor immediately. Blood sugar issues. High or low blood sugar during the night can wake you up or prevent deep sleep. This is especially common in people with diabetes or prediabetes, but it can happen even if you haven't been diagnosed. I'm not saying any of these things are definitely what's affecting your sleep. I'm saying they're patterns that research has associated with poor sleep quality, and they're worth considering if you've been struggling. If you've been getting 8 hours of sleep but still feel exhausted and nothing you try seems to help, it may be worth talking to your doctor about whether any underlying health conditions could be contributing. This is something worth discussing with your own doctor, especially if your exhaustion is affecting your daily life, or if you have other symptoms alongside the sleep issues. Underlying health conditions like thyroid issues, chronic pain, or blood sugar problems can quietly interfere with sleep quality. This next part surprised me too. Practical changes that may improve sleep quality. Let's finish with some realistic adjustments that some people find helpful for improving the quality of their sleep, not just the quantity. First, consider your sleep environment. Research suggests that cooler rooms, around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, may support deeper sleep. A room that's too warm can keep you in lighter stages. Darkness matters too. Even small amounts of light from electronics or street lamps can interfere with melatonin production, the hormone that helps regulate sleep. Blackout curtains or an eye mask can help, and reducing noise or using a white noise machine to mask disruptions may help keep you in deeper stages longer. Second, watch your evening routine. Caffeine can stay in your system for hours, so having coffee or tea even in the afternoon might affect your sleep quality later. Alcohol is tricky too. It might help you fall asleep, but research suggests it can disrupt REM sleep and cause more awakenings in the second half of the night. Heavy meals or spicy foods close to bedtime can cause discomfort or reflux that disrupts sleep. A light snack is fine, but a big dinner right before bed may work against you. Third, try to keep a consistent wake time. Going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time every day, even on weekends, can help regulate your body's internal clock. This may improve sleep quality over time by reinforcing your natural sleep-wake rhythm. Fourth, move your body during the day. Some research suggests that regular physical activity, even just walking, may help improve deep sleep. But try to finish exercise at least a few hours before bed, as exercising too close to bedtime can be stimulating for some people. Fifth, manage stress before bed. If your mind races at night, consider a wind-down routine. Reading, gentle stretching, deep breathing, or writing down tomorrow's to-do list can help signal your brain that it's time to shift out of alert mode. Sixth, if you suspect sleep apnea, restless legs, or another sleep disorder, talk to your doctor. These often need specific treatment, like a CPAP machine for sleep apnea or medication adjustments for restless legs. Trying to fix them with better sleep hygiene alone usually doesn't work. What this means practically, small, consistent changes to your environment, routine, and health management may gradually improve how restorative your sleep feels. You don't need to overhaul your entire life, but paying attention to the factors that research suggests affect sleep quality and being willing to address them one at a time may help you start waking up feeling more like yourself again. Improving sleep quality often comes from adjusting your environment, routine, and health factors, not just sleeping longer. I want to say this clearly. If you've been waking up exhausted morning after morning, that's not something you just have to accept. It's not just part of getting older. Yes, sleep changes after 55. But persistent, unrefreshing sleep that affects your energy, mood, and daily life is worth paying attention to. You deserve to wake up feeling rested. You deserve to have the energy to do the things that matter to you. And you deserve to understand what might be disrupting your rest so you can address it. Sometimes it's a small adjustment. A cooler room, a medication change, a new pillow. Sometimes it's something that needs professional evaluation, like sleep apnea or an underlying health condition. But either way, it's worth exploring because better sleep can genuinely change how you feel every single day. If you found this helpful, I share research-based health conversations like this regularly. No hype, no quick fixes, just honest information that might make a difference. Totally up to you, but the option's there if you'd like more of this. I genuinely hope something here helped you understand what might be going on with your sleep.